You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go.
Oh, Lynn, I gotta fix that shiz nibble. What's good, man?
What it
Look,
do? What
I'm
it
trying to do
do?
a little everything at once. You got me in the hot box. Saying, "Yo, let's do this Valentine's post Valentine's." You made me feel bad about yesterday. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. You made me feel bad about yesterday.
I
Like
made
shit.
you feel bad about
You made me
yesterday.
feel bad about yesterday. And we not even.
Elaborate on that.
You was like, "Man, no stream today,
Uh,
man, man." I was like, "All right, bro, we in there. Let me make sure we could." We could.
we all have our things that we can
We all have
escape
a
the stress, and I enjoy getting together with my man K Dizzle. So what's up, man?
what's good. Happy
How you
Valentine's
feel?
Day. I'm
Happy
fantastic.
happy post Valentine's
Post
weekend, K
Valentine's
Dizzle.
Day. How was your Valentine's Day? Good.
It was relaxing.
It was relaxing.
Yes,
Same here. I worked a little bit, but we celebrated a little bit early, but we had a good time, man. It's a little
that's what
different when
counts.
I got you know me, I got four girls and a wife, so it's all women in the house. So we got to figure out something to do for everybody, especially with this pandemic. So the
Always
holidays
respected
always
you. Always admired you for that, for having that house full of lovely women.
oh,
Shout
because I'm
out to
crazy.
the shout out to the family.
Because I'm crazy. That's what it is. I'm retarded out here. I couldn't. I kept my socks on. I couldn't put no boys out. We ain't gonna talk about that. Let's do this though. Okay. While we here on the V Day, hope everybody had a good V Day. Shout out to everybody who's joining us. Um, we live direct. It's your all dressed up podcast, so that you know. Um,
Let's say
with
who
your
we
boy
are. It's
Young
the
Hef,
All Dressed Up podcast.
all dressed up and nowhere to go. That's what it's been on this whole.
Me and K Dizzle and I have been having great conversation over the years. So these are just us talking, all dressed up conversations, as we like to call it.
I like how you say my name so properly. K Dizzle and I.
K Dizzle and I, me and K Dizzle, we've been rocking for a while, so figure we dress up our conversations for the All Dressed Up podcast. But
Show.
it's your boy Young Hef.
What's your show? It's your boy K Dizzle DC. Hey, look, let's talk real quick. Classic gifts for V Day, right?
Hmm.
We're gonna go to classic gifts, the do's and the don'ts, but let's knock the easy ones out the way. The easy ones out the way are what?
So we're gonna go. Are we gonna go from like 5 to 1? You want to do like a
No, no,
countdown?
no. You ain't got to do a countdown. You just name them because we know what they are. We know what the first ones are.
Obviously, it's the
Either
chocolate,
one or two. Chocolate, right? It's the chocolates. Um,
and you can't get the cheap chocolate. We can't be out here getting the like how you get your wings. We can't be out here
talk about my wings.
just making haste decisions about our chocolate.
You can't come with the hearsays, not the Hershey's. I mean, you can't be getting the hearsays and not the Hershey's, man. You gotta get some
Can't
Russell Stover. Shout out to Russell Stover. You know, support the podcast. You gotta get some. What's the other ones with the little? They come in the little gold egg. Like
with the Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher. Yeah, the Rachel
Absolutely.
Ferrero. Got to get those. In the Andes, got to get the
You got to
Andes, the breakfast. Shout out to
you got to
them.
get the Godiva, right? The
The
Godiva
Godiva.
chocolate.
Is it Godiva or Godiva? I don't know.
Mm.
It's Godiva Diva. And
All right, what's next?
can we say wait a minute, but can we say Russell Stover is a staple? Russell Stover chocolates. I don't know who this dude is, but I know his name with chocolates. Can we say that
I
he's
don't
decent?
know. I don't know, man.
Damn, you don't like
I
you don't
can't.
like people named Russell?
I
All
don't
right,
know. I can't. I can't really.
we'll get back to that. Look, all right, we already talked about the classic do's. What's the don'ts? We say chocolate, flowers,
Flowers, cards,
cards,
and candy.
candy,
Obviously.
flowers, cards, and candy. All right.
Now,
What's the don't?
what you don't do. It depends on who you're shopping for. If you want to really dig deep into it as well. Like
One,
you just don't want to go buy just any female some lingerie. That's a broad statement. You just don't just go giving any. Nah.
You know, you don't do pregnancy tests. Okay, you don't do. I say you don't do wedding rings.
No.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how romantic you think it is. You don't do wedding rings on Valentine's Day. You don't do the proposal. Well, people like it, but I just don't think it's. That's just me. If you're gonna do it, make it another special day. Don't
This
do.
fool said you don't do pregnancy tests. What
Oh,
the hell is
you
that?
just caught that. Oh, you just
You don't do pregnancy
you don't do
tests. So
pregnancy. You just
I will
caught that.
hope not.
No, you don't do. I don't. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. I think Valentine's Day is just another day to share and express your love for the person you care about.
I
Hundred
saw a
percent.
lot of nice. I saw a lot of nice posts from a lot of my friends this weekend on Instagram and Facebook. A lot of beautiful pictures with the lady and the, out there by the harbor and doing nice things. Both harbors actually, Baltimore and National Harbor. So shout out to you guys for having such lovely fun this weekend.
Shout out to
Happy
those
for you.
who went out and about during this COVID pandemic. Be safe.
Mm.
'Cause I know my ass ain't doing too much of nothing. But
All in the
listen,
name of love.
all in the name of love. Hey, since we talk about people getting together and showing love, let's talk about those who ain't getting together and showing
Mm,
love. Okay,
mm.
and I know we flipping it really quick, but it's important because I think it's a big part of societal change and how we tackle these situations and make sure that we speak on it. And I'm really talking about Meek Mill and Takashi 6ix9ine.
Hell of a segue and a way to shift gears into Takashi 6ix9ine. But I wanna preface everybody watching this podcast because obviously, we're not kids. We're not gonna sit here and condone, all the behavior that Takashi 6ix9ine displays. But it's worth talking about when you got your boy Meek Mill walking out of a club, I guess in Florida. That's another hot spot where you can just go frolic around like there's no pandemic, but
Mhm.
that's another story. And apparently your boy 6ix9ine's out there waiting for him.
So
Jumps
this guy
on Meek
has
Mill.
okay.
Jumps on
This
Meek Mill like it was plotted. Go ahead.
no, he has nothing to do. He don't have a rap career. Does he? I don't know. Um,
Mm.
he doesn't have anything. Nobody's paying attention to him anymore. So he has to do something outrageous or outlandish to keep his name relevant. He's almost following the Trump method. You got to do something outlandish or outrageous to stay abreast in the media. 100%.
Absolutely.
I don't follow the dude. I really don't care for him. I think he's just the. I always looked at him like the actual Dave Chappelle skit come to life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's the dude yelling in the mic, in the mic in the studio. That's just yelling in the mic in the studio. And I just like, yo, just for just fucking doing it. It's retarded, man. To me, I
But
don't know.
that's the new currency,
Kids like him.
clout.
Kids like him.
Clout's a new currency. And
Cost
when
new
you have
currency.
to, yeah, and when you're trash, when your music is garbage, and your image kind of ran its course, now you got to bring in people to play with you. And
Yeah.
allegedly, right, and allegedly, he had actually spoke about trying to have some type of beef, like an intentional beef, and he was
Hmm.
reaching out trying to throw some money at a couple of artists. So could it have been that your boy Meek took the bag? You know, $3 million to sit out there and argue, and all we're doing is putting the cameras up. We don't see any straps. That's the first thing Meek calls out is, "What you trying to get me in trouble?" Obviously the boys on, what, parole or whatever. I'm
Uh-huh.
assuming, but crazy stuff, man. And it's all about the social media age, and the boy already got a lot of people put away for a long time, and now he's on to the next one.
Dumpster fire. That's what I call it,
Mm.
dumpster fire. But we're gonna play the footage just in case you didn't see it. We're gonna play the footage just because we can't be
Just
talking about it
because.
and we can't be talking about it and not show it. So um, let me put this on for you really quick. And we ain't gonna stay in it, but we're just gonna go over it. So put it up. Hold on. Turn your
Shout out
music
to
down.
Rod. He
You
need
bitch,
that
nigga.
clout.
You a bitch, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. You's a bitch, nigga. I'll fuck you up, nigga. You's a bitch, nigga. All y'all niggas pussy, nigga. You's a pussy.
That's scary, nigga. You pussy, nigga. Look, shut up. Shut up. And you with a cop. And look, you take, and you with police. And you with police, nigga. Look, that nigga's a cop.
Meek Mill hat.
Pussy, nigga. That nigga's pussy.
Hold on, we got about.
That's a fact, that nigga's pussy. Look, and with a cop. We don't got no security. I got my own fight on the security in the club. That nigga's a cop. And this nigga pussy,
It
nigga.
sound like you doing a song right now.
Yo, bitch ass
Sound
security,
like you
bring
doing a
6ix9ine over here, huh?
Fucking weirdo.
What y'all trying to get me locked up?
Weirdo.
What y'all weirdos want to get me locked
Weirdo.
up? Clown ass
Weirdo.
nigga. Why the fuck y'all even bring that clown over here? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Oh man.
You in trouble?
That's
What y'all
the
fight? What y'all?
majority of the video there, man. We just cut that shit up.
I
Look.
tell you.
Look, for real, I can give two shits, but it's important. it's in the news. And about just,
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, we could all give two shits about it. But I mean, at some point,
somebody
out
got
of all
to talk
those
about
dudes,
it.
out of all those dudes out there, and I'm not condoning violence, but somebody just smack the rainbow colored kid here, whatever you want to call him, out of here, man. Get him out of here.
Trash,
And then-
dumpster fire.
And then
100%
Meek Mill
dumpster.
talking about he don't want to go to jail. Don't go to jail for him.
He's 100% dumpster fire. No need to carry on that conversation with that idiot.
So you ever heard of Whack 100?
No.
So Whack 100 is like a manager, slash just road dog with a game out on the West Coast. And he's always been out there with the game when it came down to his previous issues in the past. And usually he'll stand out there and he'll kind of be his muscle.
Mhm.
So Whack 100 came out with an interesting point, by the way. He had said, what about when Meek Mill just a few months back ran up on Safari? You were gangster just a few months ago,
Was that
and
months
Meek
ago?
Mill, I'm pretty sure it was like within the past year.
Wait, yeah.
But either way, he had his crew run up on Safari, and Safari's obviously not gangster. He'd be in the videos and stuff dancing,
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, you can't do anything when it comes to 6ix9ine posting up outside. So I hate to say it, but give the kid another win. The clout
another
chasing
dub.
goes on another day.
Cloud chasing continues. That's the triple C right there. Cloud chasing continues. Dumpster fire. That's the only thing that ever comes to mind when I think of Tekashi 6ix9ine is absolute dumpster fire. Shout out to those who just jumped in. We were in this segment of Tekashi 6ix9ine and Meek Mill.
And
Two
shout out to
rappers.
allhiphop.com for the video, by the way.
Yeah, for the video. Two rappers that have high pitched voices. One yells, and the other one just a high pitched voice.
Mm.
Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. Shout out to Meek Mill. So give. But
Meek Mill said he's a boss. He ain't about to be out there catching no fades. Shit. He's a boss, goddammit.
In the Hawaiian shirt though?
For what?
In the Hawaiian shirt? Nah, man, I can't. He ain't no thug.
It's not necessary.
He ain't no thug. But hold on, man. I have to show you this because it was terrible. I couldn't when I saw it, I couldn't believe it because I couldn't understand it. Because
What happened?
it was just the facial expression on it was like all right, so the facial expression, it was what really took me over the top. It was like he was like in the Matrix and couldn't believe that those things would ever happen to him in life. Like it never happened before. It's like this isn't what it is. This isn't like he wanted to really stop. He wanted to be Adam Sandler and hit the click button and they were like rewind that shit. So I'm gonna play that.
It was one of those gotta get away moments.
Oh, it was saying. It would live in infamy, man. Live in infamy. Hey, good evening. But yo, your boy.
Legs. And he exerts a lot of energy in transition. He does a phenomenal job still at his age rebounding the basketball. So you talk about game rebounding. He's one of them. Yeah. He's like, did that just happen?
Oh, you gotta run that back. Run that back.
I don't think any of us can believe.
Rebounding.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
run that back.
hold on. Watch the face.
Rebounding. He's one of them. Yeah. He's like, did that just happen?
I don't think any of us can believe that just happened.
Legs.
He's still there.
And he exerts
Oh
a lot
my
of
God.
energy. And
I'm sorry.
Hilarious.
I'm sorry, man.
Hilarious.
Who does that? He did that in
Your
real
boy,
life. On the court.
your boy looked at the basket like, where did you go?
What?
Where did you go? And when did you
Wait.
come back?
Wait, what?
Hilarious. And you know what? That is the sum of Russell Westbrook's current stay in DC.
In DC.
His current tenure is summed up by that free throw.
It is.
You want
It
to talk
is.
about all dressed up? Russell Westbrook at the free throw line, and that video was all dressed up. And I'm sure that free throw wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have won the game.
Shout out to Rodney Cooper, free bill, because
No, please
Bradley
keep him
Beal.
locked up.
I know we got to keep him locked up. Look, man. I think-
Free
did you
Bill's
tell- did you say
hilarious.
it? Did you tell me, or did somebody else? No. Somebody else told me, man. So Bradley Beal, everybody knows, last year was snubbed unceremoniously from the All-Star game. Okay,
Politics.
26 points a game, 26 points a game, averaging. Right, it was
Mhm.
crazy. Even everybody everybody got selected was like, this is crazy. What is he doing now? 32 points a game. Isn't he 32? Like 32 points a game right now? He's
Yeah,
out of
he could go
control.
for 40 if he really wanted to.
He's out of control right now.
The
And
guy could go for 40 if he really wanted
the
to.
man has been carrying. Look, you can say all you want about John Wall. Shout out to John Wall. I know his peoples. He's been in DC for a minute. When he played, he was good. I'm not going to say great. He was good because how many seasons was he here?
You
How
say
many
it for
seasons
about
did he-
what? About what, 7?
7 seasons? How many
I
seasons did he
believe.
play? Full seasons did he play?
He played about what? 5?
He
5
played
and a half.
5.5 full seasons?
I mean, John Wall was a soldier, man. You can't talk shit about him. He got us to the
I'm not.
playoffs.
Look, he did get us to the playoffs.
Those were the years where they were running into Toronto, and Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard and DeMar DeRozan and those guys were giving them trouble. Then they ran into Cleveland a few years. I mean, they had some tough battles with John Wall.
Okay. Are you sticking up for him? I will let you have that.
I mean,
I'm
he is the nightclub hero as well. I heard he had a jersey at Rose Bar.
He did have.
I'm not trying to snitch, but I heard he
It
had
was
a
delivered.
jersey at Rose Bar.
Yes, he did. He had a jersey. He had a signature chair,
A chalice.
a chalice. Yes, a chalice, and everything else that comes with it. But it was him and Bill for those many years, and I think Bill just really. You can't even say he like stepped out of the shadows of John Wall, but he was there and he was doing it. And I think he's just doing it in a major way without any help. Because Westbrook's there, but is he okay? Let me not go there. Because we went in with Westbrook and we went in without Westbrook. And what's our record right now? You will make me look this shit up.
Yeah, it's like 7-16 or something crazy like that. But at the end of the day, are they gonna move Bradley Beal? I doubt it. They might move Westbrook again.
7-17.
What did I say? 7-16. So we have one more loss. I was trying to hold back a
7-17.
loss.
We're
But
worse
at
than
the end of
DC.
the day, Russell Westbrook's a good player. Bradley Beal is a superstar. He can score. Not much of a defender. Nobody's playing defense in the NBA right now anyway. But can they get the right talent around Bradley Beal in DC? Can he attract the right free agents? I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, he's going to hold up a lot of their salary cap. He costs, the supermax at the end of the day. But great score. But will he win a championship in DC? Hell no. We already know that it's going to go down out in LA. You might get a team that can challenge LA, maybe a Brooklyn. But other than that, it's going to be a tough uphill battle for the Wizards.
We got plenty of time to turn around, but I don't think we don't have the bench to do so. We don't have the bench or the player to do so. This is facts.
I like the draft pick this year though. The boy Adini, I believe you say his name.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah. Long ways to go though. Long ways to go.
So let me ask you a question. Talking about the NBA. You obviously brought up Bradley Beal. Let's see who your midway point or midway point for MVP is. Who's in your three? Who's in your top three? Chat, help us out. Who's in your top three right now for early MVP candidate for the NBA?
Early MVP candidate. I don't know. I
See
can't
my
think.
hat.
I know what your shit say. Fuck your hat.
Gotta rock. Fuck your hat. Gotta rock with my boy LeBron still, man. I mean, I
Still.
gotta say he's my number one candidate for MVP. Um, and if Embiid keeps playing the way he's playing, goodness gracious, talking
Yeah.
about a classic center,
Yeah.
with that traditional style of play, like that post up, big man back to the basket game, but he can still face
Yeah.
up and hit the three and extend. He's a great second.
I give you that.
Ron and Curry.
Ron and Curry. Nobody else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Steph is he's always gonna ball out, but you gotta also look at the team's success. And right now it's tough for him because he's alone on the island. Like Draymond Green, he's never been a scorer, but now he's averaging like 4 points or something. Like it's crazy.
I don't know what he doing. I don't know where he at, where his mind is, or what's going
Yeah,
on.
he's starting to just
He's
fight a
fell off
lot.
the wagon. I
Yeah.
think. I think I don't know. I think their mojo ain't what it is. They still performing, but I don't know. I can't call it, bro. I can't call it.
So
I know.
who's your MVP picks?
Like you said, I mean, I have to give it to LeBron just
Okay.
because, just not only just be his stature. I think he really is taking that leadership part in the team, um, and taking his team to the next level. I think he's playing good ball. He's playing his best ball right now between him and KD. They're playing the best ball, and if they keep it up, depending on what the Nets look like, you know, and the season, because there's still a lot of ball to play. KD can get there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
KD
you
can get
brought
there.
up KD. That's an excellent point. I mean, he's still trying to allow James Harden and Kyrie Irving to figure their roles
Yeah,
out because KD is going to be KD on whatever team he
yeah.
plays on.
But he trying
He's
to
going to be
go.
KD, and then you got to get in and figure it out. But like Ronnie Cooper, I'm gonna speak to you in the chat. One thing I can give Kyrie Irving credit to is he told James Harden, you're basically going to be the point guard. I'll go ahead and play off ball. Let me help you decide, the role that's going to work out best for us because low key, James Harden is orchestrating that offense. I mean, he's averaging about, double digit assists a game.
Hmm.
And with him being that outside threat, he can score off the triple threat, dribble, pass, or shoot, and then have a guy like Kyrie playing off the ball. I mean, that's a hell of a backcourt when you think about it. And I think that we're definitely going to see a second half push towards the playoffs because none of those guys are there for regular season anything at this point. They're
It's
just,
just we got a
they're
lot of
just chugging along, right?
we got a lot of season ahead. So
They're
it's a
ready
hell
to
of a
line up when it comes down to playing the best of seven. That's going to be a tough team to get out of the playoffs. Best believe it.
for sure. For
That
sure.
Brooklyn Nets team was going to be tough.
Yeah, yeah. Because you got hitters. They kind of stack because they all got experience, and it's gonna come down to the wire. I think with who we got leading right now. Um, Philly's gonna be a player in it, of course. Um,
Philly's tough, man. Philly's
yeah,
got,
Philly's gonna be a player.
they got Ben Simmons over there. He's got a nice, even though he hasn't really mastered that jump shot still, the boy can play, man. He's like a modern day Magic Johnson. Gets to the basket, gets his teammates involved. You got Embiid over there. You got Tobias Harris, who's kind of like, their version of a two-way player like a Kawhi Leonard, but definitely a tough team. You still got Milwaukee. I
You still
mean,
got Milwaukee.
and I think it's going to make some matchups in the playoffs if you can see Milwaukee go against the Nets because you can't stand. Speaking of the Greek Freak, you can't stand James Harden.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. We got a lot of season to go. We got a lot of season to go. So let's do this now. Let's get this shit out the way because I want to hear this shit. We're gonna give you 5 minutes of fucking fame. Okay, talk about this Super Bowl and how you did predict their score. Okay, shout out to Tampa Bay. Shout out to Tom Brady. Go. What I do like is that your boy came out and said, kind of trolled him a little bit. What's my guy? Uh, what's my guy? I'm gonna
Who
get
you
the fuck
talking
out
about,
the way.
man? Who you
Huh?
talking about? So don't bring the shit up and then start forgetting names now.
I am forgetting fucking names. Fuck you.
Don't
Um,
do it. All right, while you think of his name, let's talk about how I predicted Tampa Bay was going to have 31 points. First off, if you checked into the pre-Super Bowl kickoff with me and K Dizzle, I told you guys 31-25. Hey, Kansas City just didn't show up. But I
and he's
called Tampa
showing
Bay.
at all.
I called Tampa Bay to a T, man. I told
He's showing
everybody,
at
I said I
all.
was scared. I was scared to bet. But 31 points from Tampa Bay, that was a hell of a prediction by myself. You know, your boy Hef is always on it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just should have bet. And I also called Tom Brady for MVP. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what you did. You did say it. You did say it. I bet on the young boy, and the young boy ain't show up. Young boy ain't show up. Fucking Tariq Hill was dead on arrival. The
Mm,
whole offense sputtered the entire game. Tampa Bay came to win that game and to dominate. And dominate they did. It wasn't even it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. I
it
think
wasn't, man.
you can chalk it up. You can chalk it up to penalties and all that other stuff, but it's what it is. First of all, Bashar Breeland, I don't care what nobody say. I think he's overrated. He's an
What?
ex-Redskin. He's
Anybody that
overrated.
touched his foot in Washington, your boy K Dizzle will not give him the time of day.
No,
But he is
I
he is
will
a
not.
bum.
I
He is a
refuse.
bum. I don't like
I'm
to
a
call
tell.
people bums, man,
Hold
but
on.
he's a bum.
Only people, the two types, unless you're drafted to the Washington Redskins. Shout out to Chase Young. Unless you're drafted to the Washington Redskins, you're either washed up or close to the end of your career, or you're. I won't say a bum because shout out because I know some Redskins. You having a tough road. you having a tough
Or
road.
you need a check.
It's
Or
a
you need a
tough place.
paycheck.
It's a tough place to make it. DC is not the place for sports, unfortunately, unless you play hockey. Hockey and baseball, that's it. You
Well,
know,
what about the Mystics?
the
Don't leave out
Mystics.
our
No,
our women
oh,
basketballers.
shout out to DJ Heat. The Mystics, the Washington Mystics are beasts. The Mystics and the Caps, the only one, and the Nats are the only three that have brought home championships in the past
That's a
decade.
lot. That's a lot.
That's a
All we gotta
lot.
do is
That's a
get our
lot.
basketball and
But we
football team right. That's
we
all we
can't
gotta
get
do.
basketball, football together to save our lives. To
Man,
save our
I'm
lives.
rooting
I'm
for
telling you.
LeBron, man. I can't keep on not having a team to root for in the playoffs. It gets boring. Like it's not me jumping the bandwagon. It just
So
gets boring.
so so
Like
what
let's talk about that. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about the parallel of Tom Brady and LeBron James. Two players, you know, probably at the top of their game, at the latter parts of their career. I'm gonna throw a question out to the chat and throw a question out to UK Dizzle. Who do you think is gonna have the most success to finish their careers over the next, I'd say, 3 years between Tom Brady and LeBron?
Tom Brady. I can't over the you talking about
That was
just
a
the
quick
next 3 years?
answer.
Just
Yeah,
the
I mean,
next 3 years?
obviously LeBron can probably
Tom Brady.
he could probably hang around a lot longer, but the next 3 years are going to be them at the top of their game with wisdom and physical ability. You think Tom Brady's going to have more success, more
If
championships?
Tom Brady plays again next year, because you got to remember the team he has right now. Okay. He's got Leonard Fournette, right? He's got Antonio Brown. He's got Mike Evans, right? He's got the rookie lineman, the kid that I love, the curly haired Samoan dude. I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. Sorry. Wilt Chamberlain is the one who trolled Tom Brady when they were talking about GOAT of all sports. Period. He brought up all rings and said, "Kiss the rings, bitch." So Tom Brady, because so many things in the NBA can happen.
Was it Wilt or was it Bill Russell?
Bill Russell. There you go. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. See,
Okay.
Thank you for correcting me, asshole. You could have told me the name.
Oh, and last week you didn't correct me either. Not to go back on
What?
the old shit, but I was talking about Tampa Bay, and I was watching the playback, and I said LeGarrette Blunt. I meant Leonard Fournette, but
I
I'm
know you
sure you
said
guys
Leonard.
understood.
Yeah, everybody understood what you said. Yeah, you
I
were
was
about
off the
eight
Douce.
sips in the Douce. You was 8 sips in the Douce, so I let that
I was
ride.
off the Douce.
I let that ride. But yeah, no doubt, Tom Brady. Because too many things in the NBA could change. Too many trades can happen. Too many super teams can bond. I think the Kyrie, KD, and Harden, if that sticks, that's gonna give him hell. Um, if Curry, Clay, and somebody else, because Draymond Green is asleep at the wheel, comes over there, I think you got something there. There's a lot. There's a lot more dynamics in the NBA than you have in the NFL. And so, but Tom has his stack, and Tom's always going to have his stack. Period. Where he goes, because he's at the point where it ain't about money, so he can take a pay cut to get another ring. He
But
ain't
what
tripping
if
off of that.
but what if Bill gets free to a team like the Lakers though?
Who?
Bradley Beal.
To the Lakers?
Yeah. What if they package up some type of deal to get Bradley
Washington
Beal?
cannot afford to continue to make mistakes over and over and over again.
Well, it
I,
would be
you
a
got to
true
wash.
rebuild. It would be a
They
true
would.
rebuild for them.
They need to sell a team at that point. I'm sorry. You need to sell a team because your culture has been trash for 15 years, Washington. And people tell
Damn, man,
stories about how
you gotta
terrible.
stop going on my
I'm
squad, man.
going on your squad. I look. I want to root for the Washington Wizards. I want to buy a Wizards hat. I want to buy a jersey. I want to be a home team favorite of basketball. I want a team, but they make it so hard to like this team because they are so bad. You bring Westbrook in. You bring Westbrook in. It's
But how long
great.
did you wear? But how long did you wear the Eagles merchandise?
I wore it forever. But let me tell you, let me
Stop
say
it.
this. Let me say this. I didn't wear it forever. I'm gonna take that back. I had a Dexter Manley poster. Shout out to Dexter Manley, crack cocaine. Look, I've been watching the Eagles since Randall Cunningham, right? But keep in mind of this. 90s in the 90s on the Philadelphia Eagles, they weren't a bad team. Okay. They weren't a
Okay.
bad team. They were an average team. In the 2000s for the Philadelphia Eagles, they were an elite team. Say that we weren't, please.
You talking about McNabb and Andy Reid, the
I'm
team that
talking
lost
about
the
McNabb
NFC
and Andy
Championship,
Reid.
the NFC
Yes,
Championship
3 times and went to the
losers.
Super Bowl once. We have more NFC championships in that time than any other NFC.
That was when
Okay,
To had a broke ankle.
yeah, that was come on. Let's be
I
honest
know
at this
my
point.
stuff,
Let's
man.
be real.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so so that's a difference. The Washington Wizards. You had one playoff run in how many years?
What are you talking about? The Wizards win the playoffs like every year from like 3 or 4 years back.
Three or
We
four
just
years
didn't win a
back.
chip. Yeah. Come on, man. Stop coming for my
I
Wizards,
am.
man.
I'm coming for you, Wizards.
Stop it.
I'm
You
coming
don't even
for
have
you.
a basketball team.
I don't.
But let's talk about the MVP of this year, LeBron James and these Lakers, and the hat that I'm representing right
Why you
now
keep bringing up
because
old shit? There you go, bringing up old shit. You always want to talk about that fucking hat.
all
All
right,
right,
what are we doing?
huh? We gonna get we go we gonna we gonna go left on that shit. We're gonna go left on that shit.
All right.
Hold on. That Russell Westbrook video, man. I swear to God, that's going down in history.
So
That guy.
I got into I'm thinking about going into a different wave, right? I'm thinking about doing my movie reviews. I'm thinking about having a section of movie reviews. Obviously, we don't have our good old fashioned Siskel and Ebert, rest in peace. The old fashioned 2 thumbs up. But I saw a movie yesterday. I
I
don't know
did
if you
too. I'm
saw
glad
it
you
yet.
said that.
Which movie
Which one?
did you see?
I saw American Skin.
Oh man, I saw you put that out on Facebook. So you can give your shallow or deep dive into American Skin. I'm gonna give you a quick touch on the little things. Did you see the little things?
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Carry
So
on,
I'm
because
not
I'm
I'm
interested.
not I'm not going to give you the ending, obviously, but
Don't give me the ending.
anything
Yeah,
with
have
my
fun.
man, anything with my man Denzel, I'm in, right? And the fact that obviously we can't go anywhere, they got this HBO Max thing, $15 a month, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like shooting fish in a barrel for me. I don't understand. They probably is there stock in HBO anyway. So I go ahead and I see that we got two new movies dropping that you can stream. You got The Little Things with Denzel
Right.
and Jared, what's his name? Jared Leto. And you got The Black Messiah, right?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Ooh, I can't
I
wait to
haven't
watch
watched
that.
it
I'm
yet.
gonna watch
I haven't
that
watched it
tonight.
yet.
I'm gonna watch
We'll
that
talk.
tonight. So we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
But
next time.
The Little Things is one of those movies, man. Like, you get one of those like type vibes that you're getting ready to get set up.
Hmm.
There's getting ready to be a twist, but you got basically Denzel. He's a former detective down in LA. The movie starts off with him, kind of doing the slow poke police officer position out in the county in Bakersfield, but he's going back to LA to pick up some evidence for a case that he's handling out back at home.
This
Upon
is
him
like
getting back,
this sounds like Fallen. Well,
okay,
carry on.
okay.
Sounds
So
like Fallen.
upon him getting back to LA, basically a lot of people are like looking at him like, "What the hell you doing back here?" So obviously he's got some type of history, and then people know him by name. So he's either known to be, pretty strong, or he did something to fuck up and gets shipped back up out of LA. So as the story goes on, you kind of see that he's got some demons coming up in the past from a previous case when it came down to some women getting murdered, and now he's chasing the same person that he suspects in a couple of murder cases down in LA. So they tie the whole thing together. He rocks out with the detective who's currently in LA, and they're trying to chase the same person that he chased before. So it's kind
Hmm.
of like Denzel placing his demons on this new detective, and they're kind of intertwined for a couple of twists, and I said decent ending. But I check it out, man, because it's
Okay.
Denzel at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's Denzel. You're gonna support because he's good at whatever he does, even
How
though
was
he
that
did.
review?
The view was pretty good. The review was
Okay,
good. I
okay.
give it 2 thumbs up.
I'm
I,
thinking about it.
I'm gonna check it out. I think any Denzel movie is good. It's thought provoking, and he just goes ham in it. Whatever he does, he goes hard, and
He's a
he
bad
plays that
man.
role. He's a bad dude, and his son is strong too. Shout out to his son,
Yeah,
and Tenet, and was it Malcolm and Marie? I haven't watched Malcolm and Marie,
yeah.
but I watched American Skin. Okay, and I do not recommend. Well, let me take that back. I do recommend watching it, but you got to be in the right frame of mind. And the
Okay.
reason being, reason being is because it will infuriate you to no end because it's talking about current events, but it was done in such a masterfully way um, that that leaves you the same way you started. If that makes
Okay.
sense, that leaves you same way you started,
Well,
the
who plays
same
an American Skin? Give me a background on American Skin
Nathan
for
Parker.
those who haven't heard of it.
American Skin. There's no okay. American Skin is based on a young boy getting shot. Being pulled over. A young boy and his son. Um, Long story short, cops pull him over, kill a kid because he's recording with his cell phone, and it goes into the entire case. And what happens? We all know he gets acquitted. The officer gets acquitted. No charges filed, and then the father takes matters in his own hands and takes over the police station and puts the officer on trial. Okay,
Hmm.
and it was a funny line. He says because he brings in people that were there already, and then he brings people up from the jail, and he says, "Now you're going. These are people that are going to be your jurors. Are going to convict you." And of course, the white cop says, "These aren't a juror of my peers. These aren't
Hmm.
my." And he says, "Welcome to our world. Welcome to our world."
Gotcha, bitch.
So yeah, so I won't ruin it, but like I said, it's thought provoking. It's good. It does a great job at laying out both sides of the argument. It does a great job at displaying the different ideals and thought processes that people out here have,
Okay.
and And when people think it tackles racism in a way that people who don't think they're racist could understand how they're how they're actually racist. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you because you think a certain way, but until somebody talks you through it and says, "Hey, this is racist because of this," and then you go, "Oh, I never thought about it that way. I guess I am a racist," and it does it in a strategic way on purpose in so many different facets and forms.
Where can
Um,
you see that? Where can you see this? Where can
you
you
can see
stream American
American
Skin?
Skin. Where the key? You can see American Skin on Amazon. You got to pay for the shit. Or if you have a Fire TV that's jailbroken, such as myself, shout out to Fire TV, YouTube, and the jailbreakers out there. Unite.
The jailbreakers.
Always have a good VPN. Shout out to VPNs. Shout out to Free TV because my Verizon bill is too damn high. So go see American Skin. Go see the little things. We might do that movie review. One thing I'm interested in seeing that's coming out soon is um, it's kind of shitty, but Godzilla versus Kong, and I'm gonna be pissed because I already know who's gonna win the motherfucker. So I ain't gonna go any further than that.
Maybe we can review the trailer next week.
We'll review the trailer next week. How about we do that?
Yeah.
But look, man, I'm gonna say this. Going back to our initial conversation on Valentine's, right?
Mm.
Um, who started this shit? Like, who started? I need to look this up.
You talking about like the
There's a lot of
history?
yeah, because there is a lot of made up holidays. Okay,
Wasn't it
this is
like some
this is a
old
made up
like?
holiday.
Wasn't it like
I'm
some
making
old
research.
dude?
Who started this shit? Who did it? That's what
It
I
was
need to
like
know.
some old dude named like Saint Valentine or something.
That shit is not American. Look,
I
what I'm
think he
saying
was
is this.
Italian. I think he was an Italian dude.
Okay. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. All I know is they get your money every year, and it's pressure. It's peer pressure. All right. The ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name Modern Day of Love.
Of
Emperor Claudius
course.
II executed two men, both named
Mm.
Valentine. Oh, okay. That's a little
That's
okay.
it. There's always death when it comes
There's plot
to
twist.
something with the Romans.
Oh, here we go. Both named Valentine on February 14th of different years.
Can't
In
have
the
two
third century
Valentines.
AD, their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with the celebration of St. Valentine's Day. So we are literally celebrating the death of two people named Valentine in separate times.
Hmm.
I didn't plan this shit. It just came to me. It was like, why the fuck do I have to? Why the fuck am I forced? Excuse my language, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
use
man,
my
you're going hard over Valentine's
am.
Day.
I am.
Sheesh.
Look,
Sheesh.
you got birthdays. Look, you got birthdays. You got Christmas if you celebrate it, Hanukkah, uh, whatever you
Kwanzaa.
celebrate, Kwanzaa. Um, you got you got what? What else you got? You got anniversaries. You have what else do you give? I mean, shit. Who's decided to say, okay, Valentine's, we're gonna make it on hearts and candy, and we're gonna require you to do something for your significant other. It's sweet. I like it. It's a great holiday.
It's
But I mean, it's just
politics, man. It's geared to the economy. Obviously, we're gonna go
hold up.
spend some money.
Look, I'm sorry. Look, I'm just saying this. I know I got five women in my house. Okay, five. Y'all don't understand what these holidays do to me. Okay, just
Gotta
I'm
get them
saying,
all, everything
gotta get
equal.
all of them have to be loved. I
All,
don't. I'm not
everything equal.
short on the love. I'm just saying, how many holidays do we have to have? I'm
Mm.
birthdays is important. Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa if you celebrate it, that's important, right? Special anniversaries, your first date, and all that other great stuff, super important.
Okay.
Basically, fourth. Okay, Juneteenth, Black people. Since we did cancel culture of Fourth of July, Juneteenth's important. You
Okay.
know, um, what else do we celebrate? What else do Black people celebrate? Okay, Easter. Easter is important if that's your
I
religion.
mean, everybody go to church on Easter. People don't
Everybody
go
go
to
to church.
church all year, and all of a sudden on Easter, Everybody coming out in the most freshest turquoise and teal.
Don't do that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. I'm
You
just
know it's
saying,
true.
Valentine's Day. Um,
Easter for church.
why, Clarence? Why?
Easter for church is like how New Year's Eve is for rookie drinkers. Like you got a lot of rookie churchgoers that come out on Easter that don't really know where to sit. You know, they start sitting in people's seats and stuff because they ain't been to church all year, and all of a sudden they there now and they sitting in Gertrude's seat. Okay. And then with New Year's Eve, you got a whole bunch of people that aren't used to really going out, running the streets, drinking and driving and stuff like that. So two dangerous situations.
Easter is the most untailored holiday in church history. It's the most untailored holiday in church history because all the dope boys that just got out, or the people who don't go to church, they go to where? They go to Ross, or they go to what's the
K
Ross?
and G.
They go to K&G. They, they buy a pair of unhinged pants, right? And they go
from
home and
the Michael Irvin collection.
they mama cuff them, right? You did catch me, Lady Soldier. Shout out to Lady Soldier. They go to K&G and they cuff them, right? And they too baggy like they got drafted in 1992. Okay, it is the most
That's funny as shit.
untailored. Easter is the most untailored holiday in history. In history,
I told you, it's a lot of people. It's a
right?
lot of
You get the fresh Stacy Adams, some patent leather, right? Some of them go to what's the Payless and find the new bucks, find the bucks.
and by the
Put this
time
place
they
on.
get home, the back of their heels be burning.
They get
Messing with them messing with them bucks that you talking
they,
about. And shout out to Al Russell talking about them Stacey Adams.
Al got 7 pair. Look, hey, look.
We
They
stay
still
on
got
point like Stacey Adams.
they still got the paper collar over the tie underneath the collar, man. Look, it's the most untailored. There has to be in high school. Okay, I am lobbying for high school for the curriculum. Okay, I don't Prince George County. I don't care. 2 things: financial education and fashion. Okay, those have to be requirements: fashion and financial education. If you go to
You
a
say,
job, if you go to a job interview as a male, right, and you go with unhemmed pants, okay, and you go with a too big dress shirt, okay, what's the name of the dress shirts, man? I'm about to get some name. Let me not do that, okay? Unhemmed
we
pants,
talking about the
dress shirt.
Georges, the George.
No, I'm not going there. Stop. So, or if you're a female, okay, and you go to an interview, right, I'm about to get in trouble.
Nah, you can't do this, man. You can't do this because it's enough pressure to go to the interview anyway.
It
Now
is
you
pressure.
talking about if the bottoms of my pants ain't straight. Nah.
I get it. If that's all you got, that's all you got. But you should. That's why I said in school they should teach financial education and fashion. Okay, they don't want to teach you about financial education because they want you to go out here, go to college, burn the credit cards up, get into super debt. That's what they want. But they also should teach you fashion because you go out here, you go out here, and if you have to dress up and go to these interviews, you don't know what the hell you supposed to look like. You come out there raggedy as hell,
Yeah.
and you come here thinking that I'm dressed for the interview. If you don't have somebody in your life to tell you that or to show you that, you're gonna come looking crazy.
Let me
I,
ask you a question. Can I ask you a
I just
question?
got on the pulpit grinding my gears right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's and I'm glad the chat's talking about it too, because a lot of us are bosses out here watching the All Dressed Up podcast. So speaking of poorly dressed interviewees or applicants, I know I've interviewed a lot of people in my day, and I know so have you. Let's start with no typos in the resume first. Exactly. But do you going into the interview, do you make any do you suggest anything about the attire? Do you bring it up? Do you have any preconceived notions about how the interview is going to go because that person showed up wearing some crazy, stuff? Or do you say, "Hey, Obviously, this person got here. Let me give him a chance. Like how'd you handle it before?
Okay.
Speaking of your situation.
So I have, all right. So when I do interviews, okay, when I do interviews, I look at that, but I don't judge them off of that. I go in, and my interviews are a little different. My interviews can sometimes be aggressive because I'm not. Here's the thing about a resume, and you said, Sinead, really, you said something really important because unfortunately, not everybody does interviews the same. When people come in with resumes, a resume will only tell a person what they've done. It will never tell them who they are. And if anybody can pay for someone to do a fantastic resume,
That
and there
was
are
deep. You
certain
gotta say that again.
okay, a resume will only tell you what that person has done. It will never tell you who they are. Okay. And anybody can go out here and pay someone to type and press up a good resume. There are people out there that understand how the algorithm works, puts the right amount of words for that government job to come up so that it can ping them and move them to the next level. Okay. That's those things have nothing to do with truthfully the person that you're hiring. Because when
Mm.
you're talking about hiring people, right? Yeah, the typos do tell you that they're lazy because they didn't proofread. Um, it does tell you that. That's a big part of it, but it really doesn't tell you entirely who that person is. Because what matters the most is the person that you're hiring. Who are you bringing into the fold? Who are you bringing into your team? And look, now you got me. Now you got me in my bag. From what we used
Nah,
to
but
do.
it's a good conversation though. It's a really
So
good conversation.
one thing that I was always and still to this day, I am very protective about who I bring in to my team because my team to me, the employees that I work with, I don't say that work for me, that I work with are family. And so whoever that we decide to bring into our family has to cut the mustard. I'll use that old term, has to cut the mustard or be up to snuff. Not only just not only just um, um, skill wise, but they also have to be of a certain personality. If you have a good judge, if you're a good judge of character, decent judge of character, you already know what type of cancer. If people are cancer based on their uh God, I'm getting old. Shit. Based on how they talk and based on their character, based on their personality, you can tell if
Hmm.
somebody's a cancer or not. 100%. 100%. If you ask the right questions. Proper interviewing is always about asking the right questions. And then not always the can open questions. I hate can open questions. I'm going to give you one to start off. Okay. How many times have you heard this question? Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a customer, blah, 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 blah.
You can
That's
Google that
corny.
answer.
You can Google that shit. You can if you're a fantastic liar, you can make up a fantastic story.
Let me
You be
tell
like,
you what I
oh,
would do. Let me
go
tell
ahead.
you what I would do in a quick nutshell. Not to get in too deep because obviously you and I have got a history and we've been in the same industries, but I paint the picture of your most frustrating per se scenario. So I say, look, John, imagine if you haven't eaten all day and your foot hurts and you have a date planned at 7:30 and your first two appointments for the day didn't show up and your wife's calling you because she wants you there on time, but your third appointment saying he'll be there at 7:15 and you know he's going to spend and he's going to make that transaction with you, what decision are you going to make? I put you in a real world scenario because that's going to happen. And are you going to be a part of my family and can you be a part of my team and actually do the job? I don't give a damn how well you can tell me a answer to a question about when you're with the customer, this and that. Now I'm gonna give you the scenario because you're gonna have to tell me how you're gonna get out of it. And then I'm gonna tell you what the reality of it's gonna be because I don't want my job to slap you in the face when I hire you. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, you didn't tell me that this was going to be the job. So I just want and this is before I go all off into my stuff, I just want my applicant and my candidate to understand what I'm expecting. And then if that's what you want to do, then let's do it. But other than that, that's just some good conversation.
Yeah, that's a good conversation. That's a good way to put it. To try to put them in an environment where they have to try to figure out multiple ways and on how to attack that situation. One of the things I focus on, like I said, I am 100% different. Anybody who's seen this that knows me, that sat in an interview with me or talk with me, we, anytime we come out of an interview, it's always different. I mean, I'll ask different questions, but I go down the same path. And I don't talk. I ask a few questions about where they worked, and I ask them why did they choose that job. Okay, why did they choose the job? Then I start asking the biggest question that I ask, and I go into the rabbit hole with is, uh, what do you really want to do with your life? If money was an object, what do you really want to do? Like, what's the thing that you want to do the most?
Yeah, what
What
motivates you?
Well, not motivates you. What
So
do
what
you
do you
want to
want to
do?
do?
What do you
Okay.
want to do? What do you want to do with your life? That is a very tough question to answer, and the reason it's a very tough question to answer because a lot of people really don't know what they want to do with their life. They're only thinking from here to the next to the next to the next. And
So
and
as an
and look,
employer, how do you go off of that answer
so
when
how
when
do you go off of that
75% really
So
don't
so
know?
so this is what you do. This is what you do. So I've had someone say, well, they're in there for, let's say, our profession that we work together, which was auto sales, and they're coming in and want to sell cars. They said, well, I really want to be a orthopedic, you know, a foot doctor. Okay, what did you go to school for? Did you go to school for it? Oh no, I didn't really. I didn't. In school, you got to. It says here that you got an administration degree. Why didn't you go for orthopedic surgeon or go into podiatry? Well, I was doing this because they said this. I said, but that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that when you really wanted to do this?
Okay.
Okay, so now you get into the questions. Well, why are they making the decisions that they're making? Okay, and you're trying to figure out. You're trying to really figure out who they are, and and if they know what they want to do and where they want to go. And I always preface it with this. After I ask those questions, I say this, and like I said, I'm different. And look, keep in mind that what I'm asking you right now has nothing to do with the current job that you're interviewing with. What matters to me more than anything else is when you bring you to the table, we want to make sure that not only that we help you be successful in when you're working here, but also be successful in what you want to do in life because we want to help be that bridge. If this isn't it, if this is a filler and you're here to learn and gain knowledge, that's great. I like to know that up front so that we have an understanding on what we're trying to do and where we're trying to accomplish, because it's not about us. It's not about what we can get from you. It's about how can we help you be a better you. And that sounds good.
Absolutely.
It,
Absolutely. And on the flip side, like Shanae says, seek to understand as the interviewee, as the applicant, I also want to know what can you do for me?
right.
And I'm gonna ask the appropriate questions when it's my turn because a lot of us don't get taught that either. Going back to what you said a few minutes ago to get into this segment, Kay Dizzle, you were talking about, teaching people what to wear. But what do you look for into a company? Are you looking to go into a company and make it a career, or are you looking to make it a job? And how are you going to carry your lifestyle? A lot of people don't think about their lifestyle. A lot of people go into a job and only think about the job and how it's going to pay. But how is that job? And this is a great topic too. We can talk about it later. But how is that job going to affect your lifestyle? And those are the questions that I've learned to ask. At my age now, because you might think you want to do something, and all of a sudden you're 5 years in, and you're like, damn, man, what have I been doing for the past 5 years?
100%. 100%. And going back to making sure that we talk about when interviewing, you said dress etiquette, and when we ask the right questions to try to seek to understand Shanae, but more importantly, find out who that person is than anything else. I've had with going down that rabbit hole. I'll never forget. I had a guy that I interviewed, right, and he wanted to be a salesman, and he was talking about how he worked for his father for about about 7 years, and when his father retired, he was going to take over the business. Um, but he's sitting in front of me wanting to be a salesperson,
Hmm.
and I asked him. I said, "So what happened with the business?" Oh well, my father retired, and it was just kind of hard trying to figure out what to do. And I said, "Well, didn't you work for him for 7 years?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Didn't you side by side learn and try to, because your plan, like you said, was to take over the business, right?" He's like, "Yeah." So, well, why didn't you? What happened? He's like, "Well, we just kind of let it go, man." I was like, "Well, why did you let it go? You just told me that's what you wanted to do. That was your pop's business. You let your pop's business. I ain't let my pop's business go, man. What are you talking
Hmm.
about? You trying to say I let that thing fall under? You try to say, look, all I did was I touched the nerve, right? I touched the nerve from something that he failed to do, that he said he wanted to do, but didn't happen because he had to face at that moment the fact that
So he
he
spazzed
allowed
out.
it. Yeah, oh, he spazzed out, man. He spazzed out. What you talking about, man? Look, we on an interview, doc. I'm like, oh,
He
oh,
projected, man. That's
oh,
you
oh,
can project it
calm
anytime, like
down.
you said.
Calm down, bro. Relax. I'm just asking questions. You're sitting here interviewing. You're here on an interview with me for a job. You're telling me that you always wanted to take over your dad's business. It didn't happen because of things that you said you didn't do. And I'm just trying to figure out why you didn't do it. I don't
Yeah.
think, did you really want to do it? I don't think you really wanted to do it. You're right. I'm asking leading questions, and it's leading to him getting pissed off with the realization that I fucked up. And look, that's the purpose. That is the entire purpose of asking those questions. And I leave them open so that while we're going down that hole, while we're going, look, I've had so many interviews. They go, man, I didn't expect this to go. People that I didn't even hire, I didn't even think about. I didn't think about hiring. I knew I wasn't going to hire, but I stayed in with the interview just to help them dig deeper and figure out what they really wanted to do. And that's just how I carried it, because look, we work together 100%. Adults do not like to look at that mirror when it's turned on. They don't like to admit. The hardest thing you can do in life is admit that you're at fault for the things that are going on in your life. The
Yeah.
hardest thing for people to do is to admit that you are the
It's
you are
take accountability.
it's the accountability part.
Kids.
Kids,
That's the thing.
yo. So I mean, kids have it too. I deal with it all the time with my kids. I only we can go to kids for a whole other situation and conversation, but adults do not like looking in that mirror because it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. Say, hey,
Man, one of
I'm
the funniest things I ever heard, really quick, not to cut you off, but just really quick,
good.
from a motivational speaker, ET. He says,
Oh, come on. Shout out to Eric Thomas.
shout out to Eric Thomas. He says, man, put yourself on punishment. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of grown-ups, man, are running out here with no accountability, man. Just getting away with it. Just
Yo,
like when you were a kid, when you used to sneak and do something you weren't supposed to, what happened? You get popped and you get put on punishment. As an adult, you can't keep running around out here making these decisions and not having, you got to check yourself, or somebody else will, or you're gonna be broke.
my sister. Shout out to my sister. I was having a conversation with her, right? And she's newly single. She's boy, and and she's 50, and she was she was talking to this dude, meeting this dude, and they got to talking, and she's digging deep, and he was like, yeah, I got to, I had to leave a little early, I had to come home, come where I stay, and she was like, oh, where do you stay? He's like, oh, I'm in a group home. This nigga 50
Mm,
years old, and
mm.
she's like, group home? How did you get into a group home? You are 50 something. What did you do or not do to get to get? Well, da 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 da. She's like, well, look, we got to stop this conversation
Yeah.
because I'm here, and you're here. You have to. She said, you need. This is what she said.
Where were they at? Where were
You
they at when he
look.
told her
No,
that?
no, no. She said this. No, they were talking on the phone. She said this.
Oh.
She said, you need to find a woman in a group home. It's just
Mm.
true. She said you need to find somebody on your level who's at that same level that you at. You're not gonna come over here. Well, I got to pay a house. I'm doing my own thing. I'm paying my own bills. You got to
Yeah.
find somebody in the group home, because this ain't gonna work. We are not equally yoked at this point. And
Well,
you
he went
gotta
hard. He went hard all the way around.
be able to, wherever you are, and here's the other side of that. Once you face those facts that you are where you are because of the decisions that you made, that is the beginning point of you hopefully making better decisions and moving yourself in the direction that you want to move into. Because the worst thing you can do is sit there, look in the mirror, and stay in the mirror and be mad at yourself. That's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is figure out how to get out of where you are or get further into where you want to be from that point. So,
Man, I've come up with three words, right?
go ahead.
And I say this to my team and stuff when I'm managing and trying to motivate, but make a decision. Make a decision. I mean, we can all do what we want to do. Everybody has the same tools at the end of the day. We all come from different paths and different upbringings. And of course, there's oppression and things like that. But when you're in the job, you got a phone, you got a desk, you got a computer, things of that nature. It comes down to what you want and how much effort you're going to put out.
Yep.
Throughout my 20s, man, I was blessed to work under a lot of people that had a lot of success. And I realized that it was what they did when people weren't watching.
Yep.
It's the fortitude. It's the things that you don't necessarily coach or teach. It's practicing and mastering your craft. It's studying what you're going to do the next day beforehand. It's preparation. And that's the biggest thing. Make a decision. You can easily decide to be a bum. You can decide to stay home. You can decide to not show up.
It's easy.
That's a decision too. I'm
about?
not gonna look. I'm not gonna knock your decision, right? I'm not gonna fault you.
We can go literally right now. We can go to the Connect, right? Grab a half, go to Walmart, get a couple Metro PCS phones, and go to work. Okay? It's easy to stay in that level. It's easy to stay in that direction. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Adults don't get out of their misery. They get out of it. They stay in their own way. And let me add this to you. Add that to what you just said, because it fits everything what you said afterward. You said make a decision, and the second part I would say, and stick with it. Because what happens is people make that decision, but as soon as they tap failure or failure taps them on the shoulder, says, "Hey, this ain't working," they quit. Same way with this podcast. How long have we been trying to do this shit? How
For
many
years.
years ago?
And the messed up part.
How many years ago was it? Were we filming in a barbershop at 10 at night?
Way before other people were filming in barbershops at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh
Way before a pandemic when everybody turned into a podcaster. But no disrespect, not to knock everybody,
Yeah. But that's the case of it. Make a decision and stick with it. Stick with it until something happens. They say pray until something happens. Just make a decision and stick with it until something happens. That's the only way.
I can't like look around.
Where are we going?
This is what we do, man. We started off a Valentine's Day weekend to the NBA to Tekashi 6ix9ine with Versatile. We're showing our versatility, but that's what we do.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about good content or if you want to hear good stuff, tune into the All Dressed Up podcast, man. But not to take it plug, shameless plug.
Commercial.
But nah, man, not to go off on a tangent. You put people. You don't want to be the person in the room that's the least fortunate. And you don't want to be the person in the room that's the most fortunate. You want to, obviously be in that liquid movement to where you see people thriving and you want to find out what's going on. You don't have to copycat. You don't have to emulate, but take some things from the people that you're seeing around you that are successful and try to make it your own. That's my biggest advice, man. It's 2021. You can't trust a lot of people, a lot of politicians and all that, but you can definitely put out the effort while you have the ability to. and just see where it can take you. You never know. You might be
let's
surprised.
let's say this in your 2021 advice. I'm gonna give it. We're gonna shut it down real quick. But my 2021 advice. We talked about a lot of great things, and I'm gonna go. We're gonna go back and look at this content and say, wow,
Hmm.
we went whole left field. But my biggest advice I can give to you right now is to be happy with yourself, who you are, and where you are right now. Be, be happy with yourself, with who you are, and where you are right now. And the biggest part of that is because if you're not happy with yourself, where you are and who you are right now, how do you expect to grow to be somebody else that you
You
think?
won't.
How do you expect to grow and be that person that you want to be if you're not happy within your own skin where it is right now? Okay, take all that other bullshit, that stature. I'm supposed to be here by now. I'm supposed to be doing this by now. No, you're not. That is a crock of shit.
Oh, now you know that's something that haunts a lot of us too.
Shit. That is peer pressure put on to yourself for no fucking reason. And I'm cursing because it irritates my life. Because people say you got to be this by this time, you got to be that by that time, you got to be doing this by this time. No, you don't. This is a marathon. This is it. Look, if fucking Morgan Freeman can get his first job at what, 54, first acting job at 54, and that was
Yeah,
back in 1967. Look at him now. He 102, still acting. Look
yeah.
at him. But the truth of the matter is, you have to be happy where you are with who you are right now. Okay. And I'm telling you, if you just make that decision and stick with it, you make that decision and stick with it, everything about everything that happens in your day and in your life from there on out will change because you are now in a different state of mind. People won't understand it. Only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself and who you are and where you are right now. And everything that you want in life will start coming to you in that direction because now you're attracting the right things. You're projecting happiness. You're projecting satisfaction. You're not projecting complacency. You're projecting that you are good. You are great, and great things happen to me. I'm a great person. I, I am who I am, and I'm supposed to be, and I'm not ashamed about it. Everything that you want will start coming towards you.
Whew,
It's just
Doctor
science,
K preaching tonight.
not fiction. I promise you, energy attracts energy. That's the only way
Yeah,
that anything ever works. Everything that you ever freaking see, The Secret, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, whoever you listen to, whoever you think of, who's ever putting that in you, they'll tell you the same damn thing. Gary V, everybody's telling you the same thing. Energy attracts energy. So you have to be happy with who you are and where you are right now, so that those things will come to you. Because if you're not, you're stuck in that misery. That's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to think about. I promise you. I've never had a bill get paid with me
hmm,
thinking about it not being paid, with me thinking
yeah.
about it not getting paid. I've never had a bill. If I thought about it, let me tell you, think about that bill. Oh my God, I ain't got the money to pay it. Oh my Jesus. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know where it's gonna come from. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna have to get my $40 work on. I don't, Lord. Do I have to go? If you do that, I promise you, it's gonna be there. It's gonna stay there and it's gonna sit on you like a cancer. Those thoughts are cancer, man. I
Yeah.
said, be happy with
Nah,
who
so
you are right now. Make that decision and stick with it. Shout out to my man Young Health Streams, putting that together because we just went from we
hey
were in
man, it's
to
it's never it's never a bad time for a good deep dive into some real shit. But you know, shout out to the chat tonight too because you guys keep it fun and throwing back some information to us. We love to talk back to you. You know, hit us up on Instagram and Facebook and Twitch and all that good stuff and tell us what you guys want us to talk about too.
yeah.
Obviously we like to
Young have streams. He's everywhere. All that and then some. Me, same thing. I'm everywhere. All that and then some. Short, dark, and handsome. Busted inside your eye. Shows you where I come from. Yeah, I did that. I did that. I'm showing myself. But yeah, man. Look, we usually do this on Sundays, but yesterday was Valentine's Day, so we took a pause for the card. spend the time with the family and friends, and make sure we let them know that we love them, even though we're celebrating a money hungry situation and
No doubt.
two dead people from the Roman Catholic time. But we thank you guys for stopping in. Everybody, shout out to Sinead, Lady Soldier, Mama Hef, and Rodney for coming through and being interactive in the chat. Do me a favor. We're going to continue to do this. Let people know, share it, love it. We're going to post it on YouTube, everywhere else, Facebook, Twitter, IG, all everything you can think of. We're just trying to do this because we love it, we enjoy it, and we grow, and it just comes out naturally. Look, I felt like we're doing a Saturday morning meeting.
I'm telling you,
it.
man.
I miss it, but I don't.
Don't miss it too much.
I don't. So, anything you got, man? Before we call it out.
Hey, man. I was right last weekend. I'll probably be right again. Chat, everybody that's checking us out. Don't take this for arrogance now, but keep checking us out. We're gonna have some fun. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
It's light skinned and this had to come out. It had to come out. Light skinned and this had to come out. It's just what it is, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. We'll see y'all next time.
And you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know.